this. So Dub is a platform that it's changed my world. It has changed my world. So I'm going to turn this, I'm going to hide this. And one of the things that I really enjoy about it is the fact that we can actually start conversations with this. And if you're watching this or you're watching the replay or you happen to see the replay, and I want to do tutorials about this because one of the things, the best thing about the Pirate Broadcast is the fact that I'm really excited about the opportunity of sharing this technology with you, because it allows, it's not about the technology. It's about the ability for you to make connections. It's about the ability and the opportunity for you to make a relationship develop into, you know, an honest to goodness friendship. You know, I've met people on here and you know, it's amazing what you can do when you take a moment of time and put yourself out there. So it's crazy to think about what is possible with some of this technology. And Ruben and his team have actually created, there he is right there. Are you showing up, Ruben? Where are you? Communicate with video, converting an action. What do I need to do? And you can create videos with it. You can shoot videos out there. You can create landing pages. And what I love is creating relationships, you know, creating relationships right here. That's what it's all about. It's just like, join in. Let's see if you can. I'm sending him a text message. So we'll see. I don't know. There's 3 people on. 4 people on. And I'm just teaching about Dub right now, and I wanted to share this out with you and make sure that you have an opportunity to check it out. Instant production. You know, the beautiful thing about live, and the reason why I love live video, is you don't have to create any editing time. You don't have to schedule time to edit the video, cut and paste, put in things. You actually have an opportunity to go out and do this live and put it out there and just start and get it going. And guess who's in the room? You know, before we jump onto this, we gotta get this, we gotta build it up here. You know, I'm gonna, you know, have Ruben probably do an opening for me with his ukulele and his drums, because we like that kind of thing. So guess who's in the room today? Guess who's in the room? I'll give you 3 guesses, and the first 2 don't count. All right. So we're gonna have to. Now watch this carefully, because we're going to do this. We're going to do this. Guess who's in the room?
What's up, guys? Russ, thank you so much for having me, man. I really, really appreciate being here. Man, I'm here. I'm present, man. I've just been struggling a little bit, but you're and I can't wait to do it.
Well, it's one of those things, Ruben, that, you know, as you know, life, family, business, we're busy. We're busy with a lot of things, juggling schedules and opportunities and, you know, conversations all the time. And so it's really a matter of, you know, normally I have this show at the time I'm doing this show is 7 a.m. Arizona time.
Okay.
And I have this thing called Arizona time because a lot of people, you know, I make it kind of a joke. However, it is one of those things that is kind of important, because Arizona doesn't have any daylight savings time. It opts out from daylight savings time. So for everybody else, it's I'm either in Pacific Standard Time or Mountain Standard Time, depending on the time of year.
Oh, now why is that opt-in? I don't understand that. I didn't know that was an optional thing.
It's kind of crazy. My audio just left.
No, you sound good. You sound good. Well, first of all, while you're doing that, yeah, no, I can hear you. I mean, I'm really impressed with this technology that you introduced me to. Actually, I
can't hear you, Ruben.
Okay. Yeah. So this technology, which we're using right now, StreamYard, I've just been really impressed with this
can you
tech
hear me now?
because, yeah, I can hear you. You sound great. And because it allows you to stream from multiple platforms, and that's really,
I can't hear you.
Pretty amazing.
I can't hear you, Ruben.
Hey, Ross, how's now?
Why can't I not hear you?
Oh, weird.
Hold on.
Okay.
This is an illustration of, okay.
Yeah, I guess I'll keep talking because maybe.
Yeah, keep talking.
Yeah,
I can hear you now.
Okay, that was funny. You're like, I can't hear you, and then I'll keep talking, and they're like, well, keep talking. I'm like, oh, you can hear me now.
Well, that's what I was just talking about when you were coming on. Before you're coming on, it's like, okay, so number one, for those, just to reiterate, when you're on a live stream and you have some technical issues, don't panic. It'll all work out. This is part of life. It's like real thing. It's real life. It's authentic. We're here, and we're here to help and assist you along this journey, even if we can't find our way.
Yeah.
It's like
right. Exactly.
So what are you doing, Ruben? How are you? Happy Friday, man.
Happy Friday. Yeah, man. It's good times, man. It's been a busy couple of weeks for us. We've been pushing out a lot of stuff and breaking things, fixing things, and making friends in the process. And we're just psyched, man. I mean, I got to give a shout out to you because you actually really turned us on to a couple of things. Number one is live streaming, which is what we're doing right now. And then, of course, you saw our first live streamed coaching session, which has been an effort that we've done since the beginning. And now we are really just we haven't figured it out yet, but we're trying to figure out a way to take those coaching sessions, that content, and then figure out a way to repurpose them, put them on our support channels, put them on our Facebook page, and then mine that content, and then not only use it for the person that we're coaching, because we're a business and we want to grow and sell, but also to the other people that are out there watching. So instead of a video that gets viewed by one person, now it's a video that gets viewed by dozens of people. That video, it's already been viewed dozens of times. So it's because of you, man. Because I was messing around with another provider, and I was like, wow, this is never going to happen, because there was no screen sharing, and because the other person was kind of forced to get in. But thanks to you and your wizardry, we found a great solution, and we're still students. So I'm just gonna keep quiet for a little bit of this so I can learn from the master.
Well, I truly appreciate that, and to give a shout out back is one of the things that I've been crafting for the last several years is this opportunity to, how can you generate and engage people in a real-time way. And one of the things that I love, and I've been a supporter from day one, as soon as I found out about Dove, it's like, this is the light bulb moment that allowed me to also expand on what I'm doing with live. And just to give you guys a shout out, Darius and the team, Ruben, you inspired me to take it to the next level, because now that I have, literally, imagine this, take these numbers here and just kind of give me some feedback on this, because I have all of February, and I'm about a third of the way booked through March as a direct result of using Dub as an introduction and engagement tool.
Yeah.
And then, so I'm doing, 5 days a week. That's considerable amount of content, right?
Yeah, man.
So by the end of the month, I have over 100 episodes of the Pirate Broadcast.
There's the merch. Love it.
Yeah. So I'll have over 100 episodes of the Pirate Broadcast, and the goal is to highlight other people and their gifts and their opportunities, And then also, the beautiful thing about this is that the marketing stack that I'm bringing together is that I want to be able to offer this same platform as the Pirate Broadcast is based on to other business owners that want the opportunity for higher visibility in their marketing and their media.
That's what we all need, because to not have a guide it's the most expensive thing that you can do. To not actually invest into that budget of having an expert, someone like yourself, that actually goes in and says, here is a stack that you got to use for your business.
Yeah.
It'll take you a year or two to figure it out. You'll make a lot of mistakes. There's a ton of opportunity cost. I mean, I am the classic example of that, because we didn't know how to do this thing, and we were messing around and we were making mistakes and buying stuff unnecessarily. And it was just a couple of things that we learned from you. So that's awesome. That you are the guide.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. And there's a lot of nuances that, we can go back and forth. And, what I've discovered along the way in processing this is it's really about some experimentation as well, and if you can have somebody that's willing to throw themselves in front of the bus and experiment a little bit and get bruised up and, knock their knees into the dirt. And, then you can actually receive some of that benefit. And as you know, it's like, okay, let's follow somebody that's done it a little bit and, kind of been that same place and that, moved along the process. And just like yourself, you started Dub, because we've had this conversation. You started Dub out of frustration from not having the tools necessary to do what you wanted to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the same thing I've done. So now that you're creating this, and you're also what I call, I used to teach this to clients years ago, is create a traffic circle.
Mm-hmm.
Where you're creating a piece of content, and it could be pillar content, it could be a blog post, or I like creating this because at the end of the day, what I do is with the live feed is I take that out, I process it, and by the end of the same day as I have a guest on, I then have Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Periscope, a blog post, a podcast, and all of this content is potentially evergreen. And then I take pieces of it and I slice that out into promotional episodes. And so over the course of a month of doing 5 days a week, imagine how much product I can generate for content and how much I can process. And where you're educating people, you can take that educational piece and you can develop that for awareness, visibility, training, all of these tools. And once you build the engine and once you have the platform, you have Dub as an engagement tool, then all of a sudden you have live streaming for the tool and the process for developing and generating more content and more availability. Then all of a sudden you look like you're everywhere, when in reality you're being consistent. You're just being consistent. You get up in the morning, or you do it a couple of times a week, and it doesn't take the time editing. You spend hours and hours in the editing process, and you know what that takes.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are good. You and Darius and you guys go out there and you shoot. Is it? I'm drawing a blank.
Well, I mean, we're in Hollywood. I'm at the corporate office right now in Hollywood, but then now we have a new studio up in Valencia, which is that's kind of my station now.
Okay.
But we're also all about the virtual thing. I mean, the vast majority of the time that we work as a team, we're virtual. We have people in like 4 continents now. So
yeah. Well, you have fans in Arizona, so that goes for that. So
cute.
It's like
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, you know, I've been doing this a while now, and you know, we've gone back and forth, and I love your product. I love the delivery. I love the opportunity, and the true value is not the tool.
Yeah.
The true value is the result in the relationship that you can develop as a result of using some of this technology.
Right.
It's like, you know, people get confused a little bit about social media. They think it's a magic bullet. They think that it's an opportunity to really, you know, something that's going to happen magically. And it's no different than a billboard was 20 years ago. It's just building awareness. It's building trust. It's building credibility and consistency, you know, systematic delivery of a message that is spot on, narrowed down and focused. And it's a result of, like you talked about on the live feed this morning, it's about having the opportunity to listen to your clients, listen to your community, and trusting that they're asking for the right thing, and you can deliver that in advance. So,
yeah, man. Well, thank you for saying that. I mean, so much of that type of information is what makes Dubb what it is. It's that type of feedback. It's that type of information. I love the fact that you really focus on the results. You really focus on the connections. That's the truth. I mean, the fuel here in this whole equation is storytelling. At the end of the day, it's storytelling. 95% of the communication that we deliver is sharing stories. Kind of like what I'm sharing right now. And that storytelling is what builds the relationships that drive business and sales and long-term relationships and then referrals. And it's the story loop, you know?
Yeah. And so based on that information, video is the quickest way to transport your personality across time zones.
Yes.
You know, it's the best way to develop an understanding of the nuance of who the person and individual is you're talking to.
Yes.
It's the way that you can gradually remove the awkwardness of that conversation of like, who are you and what do you do and why am I talking to you? It's like, it's like so many times people just toss that out and say, hey, you want to jump on a call? It's like, why? Why?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I'm just sitting here by the phone waiting for a call. It's like, build a relationship, develop, add value, build trust. And I was talking I don't know if you had any chance to watch the show I did this morning, is like, I actually was talking about, you know, Dubb and how valuable it has been in developing the relationships and getting people to come onto the show. And now it's not a chase and convince, it's attract and engage.
Say that again.
It's not a chase and convince, it's attract and engage.
Love that.
You know, so that's exactly what you're doing when you create video and when you create content consistently. You know, it's like, you know, it's like Seth Godin gets up every day and, you know, writes a new piece of something, you know, he puts it out in the world. And when you put things out in the world and people can see you, and it's like, I'm just here in my, you know, my little hovel here in Arizona, and I care for my parents, and my sister works for me, and we got this little thing going on, and it's real business. I mean, you don't have to be anywhere in the world to create something, you know, and I'm staying busy. I mean, I stay busy just like everyone else that I could see in the industry. You know, it's like, I love the fact that we have these tools and the technology and everything that goes along with it. And the thing that really has brought food to my table every time is the relationships I have.
Yes.
All of my revenue right now, Ruben, is based on relationships. It's not technology. I love technology, and it's a way and it's a method, and it's just a tool in the toolbox that allows us to build a relationship. So don't lose the social in the social media, you know, build a relationship, get on video, use Dubb, and, you know, build that trust, that know, like, and trust factor that has been thousands of years old, you know, and know what you're doing and where you're working and who you're working with. It's just, it never ends.
Yeah, well, I think the thing that a lot of people struggle with is this. I was just talking this actually at a lunch that I was at, and this idea of the innovator's dilemma. You know, this is Clayton Christensen's piece. You know, rest in peace. He's a recent passed away. And he talked about this idea where technology and new process, new innovation, it's very difficult for people to adopt in the beginning because there's uncertainty and there's failures, and it's not good. I mean, it's not good yet. I mean, and it's sometimes expensive. I mean, the Prius, you know, got 11 miles on the battery in version 1.0, and now you can buy a car that gets 500 miles on the battery.
Yeah.
And it's the early adopters and the geeks and the nerds that people kind of laugh about that are the ones that innovate and then make something ubiquitous, put something into the marketplace, allow the innovators, people like yourself and me, to get the kinks out, to build a process, and then to have it just be scalable to the mass population. So what I always say is the beauty of life is leaning into the discomfort, and it's leaning into the uncertainty, because that's where the magic is.
Oh yeah.
You know,
oh yeah.
Right.
Well, and you know, and like I said, and I really mean this, is I had started this this organization called Future Media Association.
Yeah.
And the whole concept was we used to stream guests in from around the world and have them teach classes on different subjects and things like that. And I taught podcasting and broadcasting. And then I was also sending out college students to go out and live stream baseball games and high school varsity sports and everything else. And then I'd stream them back to the studio and broadcast them in the radio station.
Hmm.
And so all of these tools and this technology and all of these pieces of the puzzle that I was pushing the boundaries on is the fact it's the foundation of what I'm doing right now, because of all those slings and arrows in my back and, you know, the bruised knees and everything that I broke myself over. Now it's like, this is now time. This is the time we're going to do this. And so putting these things together and helping other people do it is, it brings me joy. And I know that you would get excited about the opportunity to share and, you know, promote Dub and, you know, some of these other technologies. So if you need and want or would love to learn more about, you know, live streaming and how it fits in your business and how it comes together and how you can use it to promote your visibility, awareness, and your marketplace, you know, I would love to have that conversation with you. So, Ruben, you know, you're one of many that I think would benefit from, you know, more visibility, right?
Yeah, man. I mean, I think the thing that is always the top of my thought in efforts like this, with, you know, this idea of content creation is, you know, how is this going to lift my brand up? But ultimately, really, it's how am I going to drive revenue? How am I going to take this effort? How am I going to take this podcast? How am I going to take this YouTube show, this blog, these ebooks, you know, these high value pieces of assets that take a lot of time, that have a lot of admin staff and a lot of support and a lot of tech that's required? How can we monetize those? You know, and that's really, I think, the biggest pushback that you know, someone like yourself or someone like me that would get on kicking off this effort. Now, being in the game and doing it myself, I know how to respond to that. You know, that doesn't mean that I know how to respond correctly to someone that has that objection. I just know what I know in terms of what it provides from an ROI perspective and how, frankly, it competes with advertising on Google and Facebook, because that advertising is expensive. And great content, or you can advertise, you can do both. Of course, it's all about the healthy mix, but you know, these are things that I talk and that I think about a lot. What is your take on that? How do you monetize, let's just say, a podcast, something that you're going to have 100 in the bag? Your schedule's full. This is your
Well, I'll tell you how I monetize it, and there's a lot of ways to monetize it, and I'll give you my take on what we're talking about specifically here, because if you look at where we are in today's marketplace and the tools and technology that we have available to us, and we'll take, you know, let's just talk across the board. You know, there's a couple of ways from a marketing perspective that we need to initiate a conversation. And one is traditional, which I'll go to, you know, broadcast methodology that covers, you know, radio, television, billboards, direct mail, some of these other activities, you know, flyers, newspapers, and that's a broadcast method. Now, when you're looking at broadcast, that's one arena that a lot of people have invested billions of dollars in, and the opportunity to be able to create brand recognition, marketplace, you know, market share, and things like that. That's where it came from. Now, in the digital world, now that we're evolving into the digital space, we have an opportunity to actually focus some of that attention into an inbound and a conversational piece of content. That's where a lot of content management and content marketing has developed from. And it's more two-way, but it's still, a lot of people are playing in the broadcast mentality with digital media, and they're just shouting on digital and social media, buy my stuff. And I think that's the missed opportunity for people like you and I, where we don't have $1 billion budget. So we have to utilize and get creative on how we position this market and to monetize. You know, we're in business to make money. And so going back to your question, and how do I monetize a podcast? It's by engaging with people that can use my services. It's engaging with people that can benefit or help spread the word about my products and services. So like our relationship right now is, okay, I love Dub, so I'm going to share Dub. So you have, it's like Kevin Kelly's, you know, 1,000 true fans. If you can get 1,000 true fans that will purchase from you every time you put something out, and they're willing to be a cheerleader for you, that marketing cost of broadcast media goes down, but the impact and the relationship and the trust goes up. So when you build the equation into the mix in your product services, that you can actually have, you can increase the value to your fans and your community while having them and allowing them and helping them share that message. Look at Elon Musk. I mean, Tesla doesn't spend a lot of money on marketing because he has thousands of fans that are willing to drive his car and talk about it and create shows around it. Right. So think in those terms of as a business owner, how do I creatively invest my time in building relationships with people that will extend my relationship?
Yes. Well, isn't that just
that's the benefit of a podcast. That's the benefit of a live broadcast, is because I'm putting myself out here. You know? I mean, I'm not for everyone, and that's okay. You know, it's like, that's the way it is. That's the way life is. It's like, okay, find somebody you want to be around and hang out with them.
Right.
So it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. Right. And so, you know, not everybody's going to understand the Dub model. I could tell you this though, from my experience, I could, if I were to go into any enterprise in US today and implement two things, you know, a lot of them, I've done Salesforce for years, you know, in and out of Salesforce. So a CRM, we're going to take that off the table. So you implement two things. You have an enterprise strategy around developing your messaging on LinkedIn, a business platform, and then you use a messaging system with like Dub, and you use Dub specifically. It would be my goal and my recommendation. And with those two pieces of the puzzle, you can do outreach, communication, trust building, and you could outperform any outbound calling, any process that you have involved in your organization at any time. And I could promise you results if you wanted to put a workshop together or anything like that, and you could walk through this start to finish. I can show you how to monetize your message all day long.
Well, I think, you know, you and I need to be communicating more, and you and I need to be collaborating more, because there's a whole big ocean out there. And obviously within your network, you've got a lot of folks, and I'd love to collab with you and to put something in front of some companies that want to see growth, that want to invest in their technology. I think one of the most important nuances about what we're doing is that we don't cater to all people in sales, and we don't cater to all people in marketing. Okay, we cater to the 5 to 10% of the people that actually want to invest in themselves.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people don't. A lot of people want free stuff. A lot of people just don't care. They're complacent. That's not who we communicate with. That we don't resonate with them.
No.
You know? We have a free account and we encourage them to use it. But the funny thing is that it's not about the features as to why you won't get the results. It's because of the mentality, in my opinion, where you haven't made that choice to invest in yourself. So whether my wife actually here had a point here. We have a third guest.
Hi.
Okay.
Hey.
What was your point?
I was just gonna say that it's not that some people consciously don't want to invest in themselves. They do, but maybe they just subconsciously stop there. You know, they kind of like cap themselves at the desire what they think they want to, but they don't actually, you know, have the courage maybe, or to actually do it. They just kind of keep doing the status quo. So I would say, yes, there are the people that consciously just want the free stuff, but then there's the people like myself who really do truly genuinely want to help themselves, but for whatever reason, fear or, you know, you probably.
Is it possible that a lot of people hesitate to invest in themselves because they don't know where to invest in?
Yeah, totally. There's no direction. There's no guidance internally or externally.
And that goes back to Ruben's point of having a guide, you know, somebody that has already been there and has some experience knows what might be around the corner, you know, might be stuck in the woods, and actually say, here's some things that I've learned along the way. This may be beneficial to you. And if, you know, because there's an opportunity to invest in experience. And I think a mentor or a man, you know, that's why I love mastermind groups, you know, is the ability and opportunity to actually get a mind share from people that have different experiences that can give you a new perspective.
Yeah. I mean, forget just business. It's everything. It's like,
it's life.
Coaches. That's why, you know, we all don't act because we don't have the direction. And it's too much to ask that we have that direction. I mean, we can't be experts in everything.
No.
And so I think the point of life is to really connect with people that can help guide you, and then you guide them and they guide you. And it's just this beautiful synergy.
I know. It's kind of like my kindness is cool and smiles are free.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the whole thing. It's like, you don't run out of abundance.
Right.
You cannot run out of abundance. If you share things and you help 2 more people do what you can do, abundance appears. It's like, it doesn't go away. It's like,
I like that.
Wow. So how can you know? Well, I guess I have a couple of topics here. So the first one is that when you want to invest in yourself and you make that choice, and then to Priya's point, when you can maybe get over that fear or that kind of not necessarily knowing where to spend the money, how do you survive the failures, the marketing failures? I mean, my definition of marketing is a series of activities that you do to push a brand and to drive revenue, 80% of which fail and fall flat.
Absolutely.
That's my definition of marketing. And I got a couple of gray hairs here to kind of back up with skills or whatever. But, you know, it's just, I've embraced it. I adopted. I mean, I realized that literally the majority of the things that I'm doing they're not going to work. And I have to pivot and I have to move away from that. And I've grown thick skin as a result of that. And I've got to fail like fast. Like I'll fail in 24 hours and I'll move on to the next thing, you know?
Yeah, fail faster. Fail faster.
I will abandon and I will not come. Like I abandoned live video for 6 months. I abandoned it because I wasn't working for me.
Yeah.
You know, and then I came back through a guide. I came back. So shout out to you.
Yeah. Well, you know, there's, and that's the thing is we have to be aware that unless you put yourself out there, you will not receive the feedback that is necessary for you to grow. And unless you are willing to fail in some way, shape, or form, that experiment will never provide any results that you're looking for.
Yes.
And so fail faster, be comfortable with it, and look at it as part of the journey. You know, it's like you're going out hiking. You're going to find some rocks and you're going to find curbs and uneven terrain and things that, you know, you have to step over and walk through and get by. And it's no different in when you're building a business or building any, you know, you don't have the answers necessary to move through it. Right. And the only thing you can do is model someone that's done it or experiment till you know what works for yourself. And here's the secret though, Ruben, is that when you do something and you're successful and I follow you, I could do the same steps as you did and I may have a different outcome.
Right.
It's like when you go to a movie theater, you go see an event or you go have an experience, you go to a concert. Two people will have a different experience even though they were at the same location.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the same thing as business. It's like you can read the book, you can do the steps, you can check your list and have a different outcome because whether it's your mindset or your conviction or your ability to communicate or, you know, those nuances that make us an individual may not be in alignment with what you're attempting to accomplish. Right.
Right.
So be yourself, do your thing, and put yourself out there and let things fly where they will. That's
the mantra right there.
Yeah.
You know, what does it come down to? Vulnerability, open-mindedness, curiosity.
Yeah.
You know,
Stay curious. Stay curious.
Yeah, isn't that what Steve Jobs said? Stay foolish.
Well, I think you also have to make sure you're having fun.
Make sure you're having fun.
The goal,
yeah.
actually.
That's one thing. Actually, you know what's so funny is we just came from a sales meeting, a lunch, and this is the larger title companies actually in the States. Actually, they're like a top title company. Mm-hmm. So talking about implementing Dove across their whole network, which is really exciting, of course. And one of the things that, and what a cool guy that we met with. And, you know, he's saying, hey, you know, I enjoy watching the videos where you're on your scooter, you know, tooting around town and having fun. And I was thinking to myself, you know, one of the things that goes through my mind when I'm creating content and I'm having a little bit too much fun on a skateboard, on a scooter, you know, self-deprecating, being foolish, is that, you know, on one hand, I say I'm tapping into my inner child. And I feel like I'm on a purpose and I feel like this is me being vulnerable, and I'm not for everyone. And I get that some people I might look like a fool or a court jester, but on the flip side, you know, sometimes I have that level of self-doubt. Like, should I be more corporate? Should I be more professional? Mm-hmm. Should I be in an office? Should I not wear a t-shirt? Should I wear collar? You know, one out of every kind of 100 thoughts that I get will be like, should I stay a little bit more corporate? And then I just take a minute to breathe and I just say, I'm just gonna have fun. I'm just gonna be myself. I'm gonna be honest, and I'm gonna be on my purpose. And then I get back, and I'm cool at that point. But that self-doubt, that self-accountability, I've actually embraced it. It's become an important part just to make sure that I'm grounded.
Well, here's what I could share about that, because it really resonates with me. And one of the things that you need to consider as an individual, whether you're in business or not, is if I am attempting to fit into someone else's mold, what will end up happening is I will attract people that I don't want to be around. Mm-hmm. So if you're yourself and you're comfortable with who you are and what you're doing and why you're doing it, just like a musician, you know, if you went into a classical hall and, you know, brought your ukulele, you know, it may not be the fit that you need in order to create the music you're looking to accomplish, right?
Yeah.
So you have to actually be okay with the fact that you're creating something that is unique to you, and the people, if you don't want to work with them, don't try to attract them. You know, it's like, hey, I'm wearing shorts all the time. You know, I gave up my suits a long time ago. and so, you know, I no longer wear a tie, and I have no desire to wear a tie. There was a time and a place, and that took, you know, that was then, this is now. So the people I want to work with are the people like yourself that are fun. They enjoy life. They understand that not everything is perfect. Every day is a gift, and find joy in the moment, because, you know, life is short. Let's enjoy it. So,
Yeah.
Well said, man.
Yeah.
Well
Ruben,
said.
I love the fact that we have this conversation. You know, this is like really a jump out of my comfort zone for, you know, not being at 7 a.m. Arizona time. And I appreciate the fact that we could come back and get together with this. And it's because I really respect and I honor your ability to grow this company. And if there's things that we can do together and we have an opportunity to create something amazing, you know, let's make it happen. Let's help other people that need this kind of value and this benefit, and let's make it matter.
Well, I will just put out there that you know, you've been such an important part of the Dub story. You know, whether you know it or not, you know, we follow you, and you know, we learn from you. And, you know, you're an amazing resource to the community, to the overall business community. So as part of the, whatever you want to call us, the creator group or the LinkedIn family or the innovators or the Courtchesters, whatever we are, or the pirates.
Pirates.
Yeah. You know, I would say that, you know, it's just great to be connected, man. And, you know, we've never physically met, but that's irrelevant. You know, I feel a certain closeness and a bond, and you know, we appreciate you, man. And for anyone that wants to sign up to Dub, make sure that you use Russ's affiliate links. And even if you have signed up already, just let me know, and we can kind of go in after the fact. Because not only does it just make sense for us to people that refer our platform out to other people, but also it just makes more sense for us to all be tied together in the family, because coaching is a huge part of using technology to get results. So, you know, whether you realize it or not at this point, you know, Russ will be a guide for you, you know, because he is an expert at Dub, and he will be a guide for you. So make sure that you use that link. Russ, you can put it in the comments.
I'll put it in the comments after the show, but and I did in the earlier show too as well. So it's
cool.
there. So
yeah.
And Ruben, I know that you know, I'm sure we'll come across each other, and if I walked into your building, I'm sure you recognize me. So it's like
unless you shave and wear a wig.
Yeah, come in disguise, huh?
And we'll wear a suit and tie.
Yeah, no kidding. That would be a strange place to be. So,
yeah,
this has been phenomenal. I look forward to future episodes and opportunities that we can connect, and maybe we can do something for a training session in the future for your channel as well. And I know that we got something booked next week, so I think I'm on your show again. So
cool.
We'll have to do a reverse interview. So
yeah. I'm game.
We can talk about all kinds of things. So, and
RussJohns.com. Thank you so much, man.
Appreciate you, and thank you so much. Here, let me see if I can do this. Let me see if I can do this one more time.
Okay. Oh, boom! All right, there you go.
Boom! There you go.
There you go.
There with the branding.
Nice.
Thanks. Thank you so much. Have a fabulous Friday and a wonderful weekend, and we'll catch you on the flip side. As you know, kindness is cool, and smiles are free. And you enjoy the day.
See you, man.
And here's this awkward moment where I got to hit the button.
Oh, yeah.